This is Daniel Katz.
And Rose Rongitz.
Yes, hi, Rose.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Of ThatChannel.com. Hugh Brawley's not here right now, but he might be here later in the day. And we're here in it's a beautiful spring. It's finally summer? It's not summer officially yet.
I would say, it isn't summer officially yet, but it certainly is summer weather out there.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's been like, it's like fall, not fall one day, and but we're used to this weather change. It just constantly moves around all the time. And we're going to have some discussion with some new guests about an event that not everyone knows about. Or anyone out there,
and that's exactly why they're here on the show.
That's right. But first of all, I'd like to hear more about what you've been up to. I hear you've been involved with yoga. I've done 2 teachers trainings way back when myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of yoga did you do?
I did. I'm not hinting to everyone out there that you got to take up yoga teachers training or anything. But I took Kripalu yoga way back in Massachusetts back in 2000,
right.
And that sort of covers a little bit of everything. It's like an overview of a lot of things from the precepts in the yoga 8-way path concept, and then I did the second year, so to speak, with Esther Myers here in Toronto.
Right.
Which got into this play with your body, see how you feel, type of concept where the pose wasn't important, is how your body molds with the pose, but your body mind is more important than the actual posture.
That's a great attitude. I actually believe that. We have to listen to our bodies. Our bodies have such wisdom to impart to us, and they often override our not that they should override. Our minds often override our bodies, but our bodies actually hold a lot of wisdom. That if we can learn to develop the body consciousness and tune into that wisdom, it can take us far.
Well, our upcoming guests, Joshua and Sunshine, probably will pipe in a little bit about this, how maybe the chatter of the mind gets in the way of things. And
that's right.
And where yoga, we try to resolve things with yoga. We're doing teachers training, I guess, for ourselves as much as learning to teach a little bit of postures and breath to potential clients. And the guests coming up, I suppose, will have their own approach, which not their own approach, but approaches that they picked up over the years that will help people be more in touch with their body and mind. So it's all yoga, I guess.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a theme here today about mastery of the self, and in response to your question about what kind of yoga I've been doing, it's a little bit different than what you're describing, because I used to do some yoga throughout my life, but 10 years ago I was in a car accident, and I haven't really been able to do any kind of movement like that since. But at the beginning of this year, I was looking for some kind of a small activity that I could do and hopefully not have to give up on. And something came to my attention, and it was called Lu Jong, which is a form of Tibetan healing yoga, and I'd never heard of it before. And it just so happened there was a workshop happening in Toronto in February. I participated, found to my surprise that it was something that I could do if I was careful, and became so what's the word I'm looking for? Not committed, but so, I'm only thinking of the German word for some reason. Überzeugt.
Well, it's okay, but we can always use other words. Okay.
Convinced of the benefits to the individual, that I decided to participate in the first ever North American teacher training. And the master whose lineage this Lu Jong is in is our second or third guest today at 1 o'clock. That is Master Tulku Lobsang.
Oh, I didn't know he was coming today.
Yeah, well, he's coming in via Skype.
Oh, okay. That's still
we'll be
important.
Skyping him in from Brazil.
Well, I've done a number of Skype interviews. It's quite exciting, so
Yes.
it should be good.
Yeah, it's a real honor, and he's
Yeah.
coming to Toronto for his first ever visit on August 1st and 2nd, so we'll be talking about that.
Okay, so I think without further ado, we're going to just break for a little bit.
Yes.
Is that okay, Rose? And then we'll be having talks with these new friends, Joshua and Sunshine, about the event in High Park coming up very soon. And so just we'll discuss that later in just a few minutes. And Lamar, if you and anyways, so I'm not sure if we've closed off yet or not. Okay, so anyways, so we're going to close off now.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay.
Oh dear.
Maybe we should just keep talking.
We don't have any videos to run, but
Oh, you didn't have any audio or video? Okay, maybe we should just go to music.
you can continue if you'd like.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right then we'll just.
Yeah, we can, the Tulku Lobsang is for the second guest. Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, what are you involved with? Like, what kind of do you learn postures at all with this yoga?
It's an interesting combination of form and movement. So you do get into a proper position, but then
Yeah.
you flow through it. So it's almost like a combination of asana and something like Tai Chi.
Oh, yeah,
So
right,
very
right.
interesting. And the foundational training is something called the 5 Elements training. And it balances all the elements in your body amongst other things. I'm wondering if I should let the Tulku Lobsang explain that more.
Oh,
when
of
he's,
course,
yes,
of
but
course.
it's quite wonderful.
Yeah, well, that's great because
Yeah.
we learned that in, well, not me, but in acupuncture, but in shiatsu we also learn
Yes.
5-element
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that you're getting all that wood, fire, earth, and stuff involved. So,
Exactly. And I
yeah.
had this little shopping list of things I wanted to do as a part of my New Year's resolution. You know, a little daily meditation practice, a little bit of movement, balancing, and
Yeah.
then I found this one practice that does it all in a very short time period per day.
Okay.
So that was what got me there.
Okay. Anyways, I guess we can just move on to Joshua and Sunshine. So, folks, we have over here Joshua and Sunshine.
Sunshine Dave, guess which one he is?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're involved with an event in High Park. And I don't think you're going to hear this in the news so much, but we'll find out more how we can get in touch with the event in a little while. But welcome, guys, to the show.
Thank you.
And Sunshine, tell me, how did you guys meet up, and how did all this start?
How do we meet up? Josh put out some flyers on some poles, and my friend Liz, who's in the audience right now, grabbed it off the pole, phoned him. The next day they connected, and then the next day I connected with Josh, and like 3 weeks later we're doing an event together, and that was like last May.
Can I ask what the flyers were about? And and that'll lead to you telling us what you both do.
Cool. The flyers were for Clear Fear Forever. They were about, are you stressed and happy, yada, yada, yada. And it was for my practice to help you relieve fear, stress, anxiety, anger, that sort of thing. The funny thing is, though, Liz, at the time, wasn't even concerned about that. She just felt like calling me and talking to me intuitively. And then we just ended up meeting, and I went to a tea party where I met Dave, and Dave connected to me like hundreds of people. And, yeah, it's been pretty great.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
It's
So
all meant to
just very, very sudden, and it's like two people that have known each other for years in a way. When you meet, when you're on the same wavelength, so to speak. So, what So you got together and you decided on this event, or the event was already in germination?
Well, I
before?
sort of, my mission on this planet is to heal people, heal all beings on the planet, and ultimately the universe. So I want to do like shamanic Reiki healing and vortex healing. So I wanted to implement that into an event, and thoughts pop up, and it's like, call Josh.
Sunshine Dave, that's a pretty big ambition to want to heal all people of the planet.
Oh, it is going to happen. The only
Yes.
question is when and how much are we going to resist and how much pain we have to endure. Because pain's not necessary.
I was actually
I
interested.
agree with you.
When Dave called me up for this event, because over the past year I've been going on hikes, and that other people have been running through the city, and I was like, oh, it'd be so fun to go to High Park, just do a little hike, and then have an event, talk about fear. And then Dave calls me up with the exact same idea, and so it just kind of happened. So.
How long ago was this?
I don't know, about a month maybe.
This is short. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like a great idea. What is? How did you get involved with this? With your training, with the shamanic, with the? I guess you're dealing with certain sounds and stuff, and
Like I have like singing bowls, and I got bells, and I got tons of crystals. Basically, through deep meditation. Back in 2010, I took a 10-day Vipassana course, conducted complete silence.
Oh, yes,
and
I've
I've
heard
done
of it.
3 more since then. So the first one cleared away a lot of the layers, the fears, the crap, the garbage, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Then on the second retreat, I had like a magical experience, whatever you want to call it. I went out of body. I had got the profound guidance. I woke up and there was like 4 angels hovering above my bed, smiling at me. And
It's almost like a vision quest.
yeah, this is like 2 years
This
ago.
was within the 10-day, or you're saying after
This is like the
Vipassana?
6th or 7th night, because you're
Oh, I
meditating
see.
in complete silence. There's no
Right.
distractions, no noise. You can't even look at people, and everything just sort of slows down. And,
Yeah.
because we're connected to all guidance, all information, past, present, and future. But our mind is like the little hamster in our head that just keeps spinning, distracts us, and we miss it all. And then on the third retreat, I had this old man come to me and give me my life purpose, and he told me I was a teacher. I'm here to teach love to others, avoid distractions, purify my body, purify my mind, and just keep taking things to the next level. And then
This was a vision of an older man, or an older man at the Vipassana?
he was hovering above my bed.
Oh, I see, I
Another
gotcha.
dimension. Like
Another-
I see
right,
the
right.
energy of the sun. It's like I'll wake up in the middle of the night in my house, and I'll have light beings plugging stuff into me. It's gotten really interesting. So last September, I didn't even know I was supposed to be a healer until then. I was at the retreat, and I just started downloading and channeling all this incredible stuff, and I started trying it out, and I was doing these profound healings on myself. And on the 9th night, I was doing this healing. I opened my eyes, and there's like hundreds of light beings in my room, just everywhere. Just pure love. I was crying. I was happy. It's something I can explain to you. It's something you have to experience.
No, I understand.
I'm curious, what had you been doing before?
I was basically completely asleep till April of 2009. I was depressed, angry, miserable, and I just like this. You call it the slingshot effect, Josh. I just went so low. I was looking for answers, and ever since then, it's like just straight up, 24/7. I've been living it, experiencing it, and stuff just happens. I don't look for stuff anymore. So I feel completely protected at all times. Like all things flow to me. I'm doing a lot of frequency work. Like at 2 a.m. every night, I get a 1-hour frequency download from the central sun, from the Pleiadians. Every night I get this. Stuff you didn't know was possible. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the slingshot effect, it's kind of the idea you get stretched in a way that you do not like, and when you go far enough, if you eventually shoot off, the further you pull an elastic band, the further it's going to go in the opposite direction.
I think I've experienced that. How about you, Daniel?
You're talking about, I'm not sure if I understand, and you're talking about when you go, the further you try to go through the normal, out this crazy chatter world to the so-called goal, and you're trying too hard, that it backfires on you? Is that what you're talking about?
No, although sort of. The idea, say you don't like the way you were living in the world at before.
Right.
So it feels very negative. Say you're very goal-oriented and you're always suffering, trying to get something.
Right.
And then as soon as you kind of let that go and just kind of follow your bliss, you're going to shoot that much further because it's going to feel that much extreme. It's relativity. It's like going from 0 to 100.
Right.
Joshua, picking up on what you said about following your bliss, I hear that said a lot, and it makes sense to me that we should all do what makes us happy. But that's not always easy to find. It's not, it sounds straightforward, follow your bliss, but it often isn't, I find.
Yeah, what I find is, in a sense, it's always available to us, but it's been kind of covered. And you being a yogi, and trying to wait, am I correct? Did I mess it up?
No, I wouldn't call myself a yogi, but thank
But you practice, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just labels anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's right. We're aspiring. It's okay. We're aspiring towards. It's okay, Rose.
But what you two were talking about earlier with the chatter of the mind, this goes hand in hand with fear, because all fears are just beliefs, and these create chatter of the mind. Right. And when we actually let go of these fears or these limiting beliefs, these negative beliefs, we can actually get down to the point where we only really have one choice in every moment. Do I follow my bliss or do I not? Because we don't have any limitations in the way. As far as it being difficult to find your bliss, I think that's very normal in this day and age, as most of us have been clouded with the chatter of our mind for most of our lives.
Yeah.
And then so once we start to get into our bliss, we're not as sensitive to it at first. So it takes a lot of deconditioning, a lot of clearing, a lot of healing of many different sorts, whatever method you prefer, what works best for you. And then as we start to follow our bliss more and more, we find ourselves more sensitive to it. It's just, we haven't been that in tune for it, so when we feel it, it's kind of like, oh, and then it's easy at first to fall back out.
Let me address a couple of things.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not praising the stock market, don't get me wrong, but it's like in our body correction thing or body-mind correction thing, when we're struggling with, I shouldn't say struggling, when we're pursuing a better way, better pathway, the way, it goes up and down. And there's better days, or there's moments of where you're in the moment, and then when you say Eureka, I got it. That's when you're not in the moment, because that's not what it's about. But you work on these things, and then fears pop back. But be patient. And you work on, letting go and getting away from the wrong path. And I think people get who hard on themselves to get it like this. It's there. It's very simple, but we got that clutter that's in front, like you say, that cloak of conditioning that we've had for so many years. And I want to address. I think that makes sense, doesn't it, fellas? I remember Jack Kornfield, is a famous meditation chap from the States but lived in China many years, was saying it's like taking a dog out for a walk, and the dog runs off. You got to pull the leash a little bit, and that's our meditation. Sometimes it's not perfect. Sunshine, you mentioned something about pain. I think something about getting rid of pain. I'm not sure if you did. Actually, I apologize. Wouldn't it be better to say that sometimes there could be a situation in our lives where there's emotion, there could be a certain pain, whatever it is, an event, that a certain situation, I should say, that's hard, but we don't have to suffer through it. We learn to not suffer through those things and abide through that, because certain situations happen.
Yeah. Well, there's no good or bad. All we have is experiences, and the reason we're on this planet this time is to experience, learn, and grow from it.
Right.
But pain is a great teacher. I learned a lot from it. It's not necessary. We don't have to experience deep pain on this planet like we are right now. It's like if enough of us in the collective decided, we're not going to play with money anymore, it ends. We could end it just like that. Because like the people that control us, we outnumber them like 1,000,000 to 1. It's like we decide we're not going to pay taxes anymore. It stops instantly.
What I find is the reason why I think a lot of people experience pain is because we create absolutes. When you have an absolute, you can only go one way, even if that means through a wall. But if we open our mind to more possibilities, all of a sudden we can find creative solutions around the ways that we're inflicting so much pain on us.
Okay. Well, we talked so much about that. Maybe we can hear about the event that not many people know about yet, or maybe through the flyers and your posters. And Rose, did I interrupt?
No. I was just going to comment on the comment you made, Sunshine Dave, about the fact that, yes, at some point I think we wake up to the fact that we don't need pain to grow. Although if we do have painful situations, yes, we can learn from them. But at a certain point, we may not be as attracted to the dramatic situations. We realize that we can learn and grow from a different point of view. And that was interesting how you phrased that, Josh, as well, when you said pain often stems from having phrased things or framed things in absolute terms. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time when fear, because I'm noticing your T-shirt, fear, false evidence appearing real. Is there ever a time when fear actually represents the truth?
I would say no, in the sense that there's always other possibilities, right? Like, say Dave walks in with a baseball bat. I can be scared that Dave's going to beat the crap out of me. But that may not be the truth. It might. I don't know. I don't know why he has the bat. I'll give you an example on why we don't necessarily need fear. Are either of you scared of your stove?
Scared of it?
Scared of it? No,
I don't think so.
I know that I shouldn't touch it when it's hot, but
you're not
I'm not
scared.
afraid of it. No.
Exactly. That's a great example. The element can get really hot to the point where it's very dangerous for us, but most of us aren't afraid of it because we can still take the right action to not get hurt, but we don't need the fear to go in the direction we desire.
That is. That's quite a big, it's part of a bigger package that you were talking about, Sunshine and Josh, fear. But it is quite a challenging, it's quite a word. It's a word that, word fear, or that's just the word we use, but it represents something that really stops people in their tracks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't even exist. It's an illusion created by the mind.
Isn't that interesting? But it is something that stops people in their tracks all the same. So it's kind of
Although if there is a situation that, let's say, is a life and death situation, or where one's welfare is threatened in some way, then fear could perhaps be said to be our body's way of telling us or showing us that we need to take certain actions. Just like all emotions are there for a reason, as long as we let them pass through us rather than reacting to them, as you said. Is that what you would say?
Personally, no. What I would say is we still have a survival mechanism.
Right.
And say you're in tune with your bliss and very in tune with your body, and there's a tiger chasing you. If you technically don't have any fears around this, right, you may still find yourself inclined to run very, very, very fast. But you don't need to experience the anxiety and all the mind chatter at the same time.
Right.
It's a natural mechanism.
You got the natural things to protect yourself and be wary of things without the fear.
Absolutely. I would call that discernment as well.
Right,
yes.
Discernment.
Yes.
Discernment.
I walk down the street. If I get a bad vibe from someone, I may head down another street and not go that way. And so fearlessness isn't gusto. It's not bravado. It's not I should do anything. It's still discernment,
right,
but without all the damage and the trauma. Because fear and trauma, they're one and the same. So all sorts of healing sort of apply to that.
And certainly if people can't get rid of the fear, as we so-called know it, the illusion of fear, or whatever word we place on it, the event that's coming up, for example, and other therapies that you and other people in Toronto and the world have to offer can certainly help people at least harness this illusion to the point where I've heard stories that someone was afraid of, had a little bit of not just discernment, but there was still some of the habits of fear or whatever, but they still carried through and they dived in to do whatever the project was that had to be done to help people out or whatever they were doing, and it came out okay. So I think, for lack of a better way of saying it, maybe there's people can learn to harness it until they can eliminate it. I don't know. Or maybe, of course, the goal is to get rid of it completely, the fear.
But en route, we can use it. En route to that ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You ever notice you do something and afterwards you realize that's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Your mind creates these illusions, these fears, but all the energy is outside the comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's like you don't grow, you don't get any light unless you go outside the comfort zone and, sort of like, I guess a tax not a word, but go after those opportunities. Like first time I came on this show, I was like nervous. Now I'm comfortable. It's a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got a couple things I could say on this. Well, first of all, you can do what you enjoy, even if you're scared out of your pants. Mm-hmm. You can still, like you were saying, you'd still go through and follow your joy, do what you want to. A second thing is, I know of two ways to deal with the illusion of fear. One is you can clear it, or the other way is just accept that it's there, still do what you enjoy, and like Dave said, you try something even though you're scared or nervous or whatever, and then you can slowly just kind of let it go because you'll see a reality where you realize that it was senseless to be nervous.
Yeah. That's good. And probably there will be some reminders of these things at the event.
I'm excited to hear about the event because it sounds like it's an outdoor event, and I'm a huge fan of using our public spaces and in nature. High Park is one of the city's great treasures, and it's healing just to be in a natural setting. But not many people organize events out in the open, so I'm excited to hear about your event.
I guess we should talk about that now. You want to start? Or?
You can.
Okay, so on Sunday, June 2nd at 2 p.m.
Sunday, June 2nd at 2 p.m.
We're going to gather at the main entrance of High Park, right by the High Park subway station, behind the bathrooms. And 2 p.m. we're going to go on a hike around the park, and then we're going to meet around 4 o'clock at the Labyrinth Hawk Hill area.
When you say you're going to meet there, does that mean everybody hikes individually as they wish, and then you meet at 4 o'clock at the...
We're going to do a collective hike, but not everybody's going to be there at 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So after the hike's over, we have a gathering space.
Yes.
And the energies are just mind-blowing. We've held a couple events there. I got a Facebook group called Sunshine Earth Healing, and I work with this other gang, Global Community Healing Initiative, and we're doing a lot of free outdoor events in city parks. It's time to gather the healers, unite, take action, move this thing to the next level.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I've walked that labyrinth several times. It's, and until a few years ago, I didn't even know it was there, but I guess it's been there for a very long time. And it's possible, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe you know this or don't, right in front of it, between the cafe in Grenadier, the Grenadier Cafe, and the labyrinth, there's a hill, and I think that's a mound, a sacred mound, an indigenous mound.
Hawk Hill.
Hawk Hill. Oh, Hawk Hill.
Supposedly there's 50 to 60 of these sort of mounds inside in High Park, and only a couple of them are marked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, so the energies are really quite amazing. Yeah.
This collective hike. I wonder, because I used to train with Toronto Olympic Club back in the 70s, track, and we went through a lot of these routes. Is there a discussion, or you just go on this hike and people follow you, and then you talk later, or?
What we do is we're going to go on the hike, connect with nature, ground, and then once we get back to Hawk Hill Labyrinth area at 4 o'clock, Josh is going to do his thing, which you can talk about now.
But for the hike, figure it'll be more open forum. Everyone can chat with who they want, get to know each other.
Right.
If they want to talk about healing and fear during the hike, all the best. But if not, just enjoy the nature. Actually, before we set up this event online at all, I met with Dave at the park, and yeah, it was just so nice to get into the park. I hadn't been there in possibly a year or so, or quite a while, it felt like. And when I got there, it's just, I don't know, I was all smiles. It was nice to be, it smelt fresher, it was good vibes, so I'm really excited about the event. What I'll be talking about at 4 p.m. when we meet, let's be talking about fear and the illusions of the mind, how we actually form beliefs, how we form fears, because often we actually do it subconsciously. We see events, and then we make up a meaning for the event, even if we're not aware we're doing it. This happens a lot in childhood, but it could happen anywhere in life.
Can you give an example for the people out there? What does
absolutely. Let's see. Say you're a child in kindergarten, and you pee your pants in class. I don't know how many people this has happened to.
Yeah.
But say anything. You're a child in kindergarten, and the kids make fun of you.
Yeah.
You can all of a sudden, as a child, make up many beliefs, like I'm not accepted, I'm not loved, I'm not important, just from one event, even, where you have a group of people make fun of you or something.
Yeah.
Another place this can happen, say you work with a bunch of coworkers for 5 years, and you never get that promotion, right? Yeah. So you can start to form beliefs about getting stuck.
Yeah.
I'm stuck, I can't get where I want to. Just anywhere where you see something happen a lot or something traumatic happen.
Okay. And my goodness. Okay, so this probably everyone there is going to have some connection with that, I would think. Almost everybody. I can't believe anyone not.
I don't think I've met a person that I believe doesn't have a single fear in their mind or hasn't gone through something like that.
Is the labyrinth a meeting place at 4 o'clock, or will you actually be incorporating a walk through the labyrinth as a part of the day?
Well, at 4 o'clock we're going to meet in that area, and Josh is going to do his talk and his thing. But
what is your thing? Are you doing some? Is there any kind of ceremony? I think I heard earlier talk about you doing shamanic work in general. That's you, Sunshine
my
Dave.
thing, but
okay.
I'll pretty much just be giving an explanation. What I'm really looking for, though, is a question and answer. I really love it if people can give, if they're comfortable, some personal events in their life and questions about that. So I can give answers that tailor to each individual. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And then afterwards, though, Dave is doing a shamanic healing.
I'm going to do like a shamanic group Reiki healing. I'm going to throw in vortex. Like I said, I got the Tibetan singing bowls and the bells and the crystals, and I'm going to take everybody on a journey. And we're not rigid when it comes about time. So, we're going to, it's flexible. We're going to play. We're going to have fun. Go with the moment. I'm hoping to get some drummers out, do some drum circles, labyrinth walks. Every time I'm at the labyrinth, I go for a walk there. And
now you're talking about other events.
Same event.
Same event. So you're bringing your bowls with you.
One healings, we're here to play. We're here to have fun, It's like have tight schedules,
Me and Dave are pretty laid-back guys, so it's an event, but it's really informal. Just get to know each other.
And you'll kind of let it develop organically, it seems, as the moment flows, in a way.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, before it gets dark, we do an earth healing. Because it's about healing the earth.
So will you be actually conducting ceremony to heal the earth, or making dedications? Or?
Usually my friend Johnny does that, but he's going to be out of town, but I think I'm going to get a few other people to do it. There's some people come into the event, and they got a lot more experience of that than I do, but who knows?
Cool.
So this event is all about gathering people together in community, people who have like interests or of like mind, and
I don't
coming
know
together.
I don't know if that. I respect that question. I'm just saying, I would not approach it that way. I think because the exciting thing is, and I'm not disagreeing, I'm not saying
I'm
wrong,
asking,
is that it's the exciting part is people that aren't necessarily of like mind. You got people that have different agendas, and maybe Josh is going to have, and Sancho going to help them chill from those agendas, and then they'll realize that they are of like mind. Originally, some of them come with all kinds of different agendas, like the person that thinks like Kevin O'Leary. No offense to the man on the Lang O'Leary Report on CBC, where it's all about making the buck, and it's a show. You don't have to know about the show. I happen to see it on CBC, but it's a very right-wing approach to a lifestyle. You are what you're worth, and so on, and what your achievements are. And there's going to be people with those addresses, but which is based on kind of an illusion. And we're not trying to not say stop being whatever their profession is, but to chill on it a bit. And I think that's where you guys come in, is to get these people that have so many different agendas that seem so different. They'll find out that they're not different at all.
It's actually fascinating that you say that. When I got into fear work, it was for myself. And the reason I did is because I was experiencing a life where everything looked nuts, and I just wanted to find a way to get the guts to navigate through it, because it looked crazy. And now I'm a very spiritual person, and that kind of unraveled as I let go of a lot of fear. But at first it was just like, how do I get through this? That's why I got into it. So I think that's very interesting that you brought that up. I kind of came into it with my own agenda, but then I found out, but when you let go of a lot of stuff, you find, hey, we're kind of, in a way, like collectively working towards things.
We're still separate entities and separate interests, but it just, there is a common denominator behind all that, and for us to excel in whatever we want to do is usually, even if it's entertainment, being a musician, is doing something for someone else. And none of what we do works unless we have the people that need us, or we need them, or whatever. There's this constant interdependency. And it doesn't work unless you get rid of some of the fear and everything else. And
okay, this morning I had this idea for an animation. It's kind of a play off The Ugly Duckling. I want to have an animation with all these robots, and they make a very beautiful high-pitched noise, like beep, beep. And then one robot comes along, and he's like, and they all kind of like look at him like, what's wrong with this robot? Then they kind of huddle, and they kind of ignore the robot. And so this robot, this sort of ugly voiced robot, has a choice. Does he stay with them, where he's not getting a connection, or does he journey into the unknown? And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with fear. And the idea is that you need that support. So some people might feel stuck in their life. They feel inspired, say they're a musician, but for some reason they're not getting the support they desire for their ambitions. And so sometimes we may have fear stopping us from exploring further into the world to see if there is that connection.
Yeah.
And then so in this animation, I want this robot with this weird voice to just, he looks into the unknown, and he just goes. And he goes into the middle of nowhere, and he stops, and he goes, and then all of a sudden he hears another in the background, and then all of a sudden a new community forms. And they kind of make music. That's the idea. But it's the idea, sometimes if we have ambitions and we have fears, we may not follow our joy beyond what we know to find that support and that connection to keep doing the things we enjoy.
I can't help but think of another cartoon that made it big, animation called WALL-E.
WALL-E.
That kicked. That was, but and there was that person, the other robot that. It just reminds me.
Yeah. I love Pixar animation.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Did you want to?
Oh no, just a little comment. I guess that's what I was getting at with my comment about people coming together in community for this event. The fact that they would be coming together in order to work through things in community in a supportive environment, no matter where they're coming from.
You said our events are open or inclusive for all, and I enjoy putting on these events and participating in events like this because you meet the coolest people.
Is there any cost involved?
No, it's free.
Free. That's wonderful.
Have you gotten already a certain buzz from the announcement of the event, like people calling or emailing about oh, I can't make it, but can I come a little bit later? Or like, have you gotten, or nothing yet, but you're pretty sure
it's a decent turnout already. How many? Like 30?
I think 30 are going, probably 25 or 30
That's
say
a pretty
maybe.
good
and that's
turnout.
something. Don't be surprised.
That's a very good
Don't be
turnout.
surprised if it turns out into 100. That's something that you got 30 already. That's good. Yeah, it's and then I go to Octopus Garden Yoga Studio here in Toronto, and there's something that caught me by surprise. There's a name for it, Shagana or whatever, where Scott Davis, the owner, invites people for this happening. It's something like what you're talking about. And I thought, well, what's this? And I didn't understand. And then I come over there, and I was late. I thought, well, come and just see what's going on. It was only 50 minutes ago. It was till 7 to 9 o'clock, and it wasn't about yoga. It was free. And I showed up, and it was 50 minutes to go, but I actually went 45 minutes. It went over. So I got this whole experience. And there was this whole sharing thing going on. People were divided up into twos, and it was a whole amazing, emotionally good energy. It was packed. It was just hundreds of people there. So, yeah, I think that's that exciting that you're doing that, and chances are you'll be doing more of them, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to.
Yeah.
June's a little busy. I'm going away to Ulm for a week out in the forest.
Yeah, I understand.
But once July hits, we're planning to do an event maybe every week. With people I work with.
And I do think people are becoming more and more open to coming out in community and joining together to create a support network. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They could have a very good turnout.
Yeah, because I think it's addressing a lot of things that everyone's involved with. And then it just starts to steamroll. It just all connects. It's like the movie Field of Dreams. Build a field, they will come.
I love that saying. I love that saying.
It's time to unite all the people. A lot of people are doing a lot of good things, but they're sort of scattered here and abouts in Toronto. It's like Toronto is a meeting place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to unite and gather. And I can see it being like the 60s, like thousands of people in the park.
Yes.
I can have a vision of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And Toronto is so aptly named, meaning the meeting place. And of course, was it the Hopi prophecy who was talking about, the new time and saying that the four directions would meet on Turtle Island, which is North America, and then Toronto meaning the meeting place.
Interesting. I recall I went to college, but I felt like I want to go to Toronto. That's all I wanted to really do. And then eventually I left college, and I ended up going to Newfoundland for a summer, but there was a part of me that was still like, there's something about that city, and I didn't know what it was, and I just went there. And I think there's a lot of people who felt that way too. Like, some people are like, oh, I go there for the job, but I know some people just seem attracted to this city for whatever reason.
Yeah, there's almost like two layers to it in that sense. I suppose there are many layers, but I know also of a lot of people who are attracted to be here for more spiritual reasons, and I guess I would be one of them too.
Cool.
There's many ways to do things, and I think what you propose is one very good way of connecting with everybody. I guess it's good for yourselves, but it just goes hand in hand. And what makes it good for yourselves is good for everybody. You're not. Of course, you're doing it for altruistic reasons. You're doing it for everybody. But indirectly, it's also good for you. No, I think that's not your aim, but it happens to be an all-good win-win thing here.
It's like every time I give a healing, I receive a healing.
Of course.
And the way our world is on the physical level, the 3D level, whatever you want to call it, there's like so many challenges or problems. And at that level, it's with our state of consciousness at this time, you can't fix it. So you got to go down. Like, love is the answer to everything. And that's what the healing does. It works at the emotional level, mental level, karmic levels. It's like when you have a weed on your lawn, you rip the top off, it just keeps growing. But if you go down the root and take it out, because love is the answer to everything.
Ever heard the term, you don't choose it, it chooses you? So it's the idea, when I do the things I enjoy, I don't have the objective necessarily to help others. If that's what ends up, it kind of comes out of it. And it's like I understand, oh, this can help them, so I may feel inclined to do that. But so I just kind of follow my joy, and it's interesting. When you do that, like I said, I met Dave, and he connected me with hundreds of people, and I just felt inspired to put a bunch of posters around. And so I got it back, but not in a way I expected. But yeah. I do things to help others sometimes, and sometimes that comes back in many different ways.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the so-called coincidences aren't necessarily coincidences. Or do you agree with that?
I'm totally in on that.
Yeah, because the synchronicity, like you bump into him, and then you bump into all these other people, and it so happens that you met someone who knows someone who's in the yoga studio. Like everyone seems to know each other.
Yeah.
I had so many people that knew my brother passed away some years ago, artist, and there's so many people who said it took us. We known you and Daniel, me, and they knew Charlie for a few years. They said it took a few years to realize. Wait a minute. There's two of you, or something, or whatever. They didn't realize that they knew both of us. It was kind of funny. That's all.
You said everything's synchronistic. Like we're all four of us are supposed to be here today at this time. Like this is no accident. Like this is, we all decided on this ahead of time.
I find you can only intellectualize everything after it's happened. So you can find the synchronicities after it's happened. I was working in a framing store, and I remember this one man walks in, and I just love his energy. He just seems like a good, loving dude, and he tells me a story of how he transformed his life. It was like he was like running a club. It was like a really like kind of negative scene, a lot of drugs, a lot of like unconnected sex, if you will. But he didn't really enjoy it. Like it was down for him. And then he became this super positive guy and started uplifting others. And he's been successful in so many different ways. And I just remember really enjoying his energy. And this was when I was feeling very negative in my life. And then eventually I started to turn things around more and more. And then I ended up in a community, and he was a part of the community already. He's like friends of all the people I was meeting.
Yeah.
Kind of like I didn't know, but we were all connected.
That's right.
Didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a general question? Oh, sorry, Daniel.
No, I'm going to ask you.
Okay. Do you find that you're able to harmoniously weave your spiritual selves in with the material selves and the material plane that we live on?
You want to go first?
I find that I really don't have any material possessions anymore. I don't really buy things. I don't shop. I just like to eat good food, help others, as long as I got money for like transit food.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Like
Even having money
like
for a place to live, things to eat, basic needs.
Yeah, it all flows. It's like everything is energy, and I've done a lot of frequency work this winter, and whatever energy frequency you send out is going to flow back at you. I feel protected at all times. I don't encounter any negativity of any kind. Like people don't even, insult me or make fun of me anymore. It's like the Red Sea parts wherever I go. So. Material things aren't good or bad. It's okay to have nice stuff as long as you don't sell your soul to in order to receive them and have them.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I don't have attachments. I still like enjoy playing with material things. It's like, oh, I got a nice bed to sleep on. That's nice. Or I've got this book. I can read it. Whatever. Yeah. Right. But as far as that, talking about synchronicity, I'll just give an explanation on my situation. I got invited to come live with some people, and out of it, one of them's a sound engineer. We've been working together to make a multimedia company. Not only that, I got pretty cheap rent, but I can knock off some of my rent by doing some design for another guy who lives in the home. Sort of like a semi-landlord, if you will. And so...
You're finding ways to maneuver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't ever know what's coming my way, though. That's one thing. I don't know what's coming next. But I feel I don't need to. It just kind of happens and unfolds naturally. And the materials take care of themselves when they need to take care of themselves.
And that's great to hear, by the way, for both of you, that you're able to do this to that extent. And, to your point about you never know what's coming your way next, that's a great way to live too, spontaneously and in the moment. And oftentimes we think we know what's coming our way, but we don't know anyway, even if we're living a more linear life and think we have everything under control. Not.
It could be, it could be a positive thing, could be a tornado, could be anything. It's just kind of go with it, I guess. So let's get down to the actual time of the event and what day.
Yeah, so it's this Sunday coming up, June 2nd, 2 p.m. at the main entrance at High Park.
And that's a Sunday, I believe?
That's a Sunday, yeah, and that's where we're going to do the hike. And for the people who can't make it at 2 p.m. for the hike, we're going to be at the Labyrinth, the Hawk Hill area at 4 p.m. until dark or later.
Okay, so...
And there's maps on the Facebook event page.
Oh, there's maps on the Facebook page.
It's all detailed.
Is it okay to show up, it would be suggested to show up a few minutes before 2 for the ones that just allow themselves for something may come up before, so just try to get there a little bit earlier.
I'll be there between 1 and 1:30. I'll be wearing like bright orange. You can spot me like 100 yards away.
Yeah. Okay.
So did we announce the Facebook page? Did we already give it?
Well, let's mention it again. I don't know if we did. We were talking before the show started. So if we go to Facebook and just under events or something and look on, or just how would you go
I'll give
to
you
find
my
the event?
contact info.
Yeah, sure.
On Facebook, I'm Sunshine Dave. You can search me and add me if you wish. I have a Facebook group, Sunshine Earth Healing. The name of the event itself is called A Day in High Park.
You can just type that in the little search box at the top, A Day in High Park. You'll see it come up.
Right. Okay.
Great.
And then and that will be it. That will get you there.
Yeah, and like I said, there's maps on the event page because Labyrinth's not marked on any map in High Park, but you can always ask people. Basically, it's at the Grenadier Restaurant, the north end of the parking lot over the hill. It's like most of the roads in High Park sort of intersect in that area. It's like a vortex of energy.
I didn't know that place was still there. That cafeteria or cafe is still there.
Oh yeah, it's always busy too.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful.
And may there be more of these events.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Daniel here and Rose, and this is ThatChannel.com, and we'll be back in a little while.
Hey guys, it's Joshua Townsend of Clear Fear Forever, and today I'd like to talk to you about identifying as a victim. What I mean by identifying as a victim is when something happens to us in our lives in the past, and we attach that to who we are, our identity. For example, say some stuff you don't particularly enjoy happens to you, and you start to say things to yourself like, I'm the person who always has bad stuff happen to me, or I always get bullied, or I always get attacked, or the worst things always happen to me. That's identifying with it because you're saying that's who you are. And when we attach this to our identity, we can often limit ourselves from taking the inspired action we need to stop it from happening. So say someone attacked you a few times, and every time you said, I always get attacked, and they come around again. If you say, I always get attacked, you're not really thinking the other way. Like, what you could do is just put that in the past. Like, no, I got attacked, but I don't need to get attacked anymore. I can book it. Get what I'm saying? But if we're saying, this always happens to me, well, is there really any point then? See, our mind can do that. It's like, well, if this always happens to me, I might as well just let it keep happening because that's who I am. But if we're like, no, that's not what always happens to me, keyword always, taking that word out and changing it into that's what happened to me. There's always, which isn't true because we can't predict the future, but changing that to that's what happened to me. So when that, say, an attacker comes by, it's like instead of saying I always get attacked, it's like I did get attacked, but I can book it. I can change what's going on. And yeah, so when we change our words and how we feel about it, rather than this always happens to me, or this is who I am, that's a big one too. I'm the victim, saying I'm the victim. Well, maybe you were a victim, but you don't have to be. Each moment is new. That's just something that happened in the past. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Maybe you had some nasty interactions with a few of them, but there's a lot more, and they seem to all be different. I've not met 2 people totally alike yet. So rather than saying, this is who I am, or this will always happen to me, we can practice saying, no, that's what happened to me. What can I do now? What would I prefer? Because you're worthy of the things you prefer. Anyways, this was a good chat. I hope this helps you guys out. Take care. Bye. Oh, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out clearfearforever.com. Cheers.
Clear Fear Forever sets you free of illusionary reality. Matrix programs us with fear. Stories, beliefs we hold dear. State of fear, we're not free. Trolled by an elitist society. Disconnected from our heart and soul. Lost spirit, playing roles. Love is our natural state. Unable to see through the hate. Clear Fear Forever is the choice. Listen to your inner voice. Are no limits, vibrating love. Powerful assistance from above. Clarity arises, chaos and confusion. Clear Fear Forever moves the illusion. Following your excitement is invigorating, leads to more excitement. Synchronicity, following your excitement to the best of your ability. Present moment awareness, manifesting 4D. Excitement follows the path of love, fitting soul and spirit like glove. Intelligence that creates with grace and ease, amplified by inner peace. Clear Fear Forever is all it takes. With divide but love, the world awakes. Clear Fear Forever opens the mind to a beautiful world, loving and kind. Clear Fear Forever sets us free of pain, hate, anxiety. Clear Fear Forever, let go and be. Live the life of your dreams.
Welcome back here, Liquid Lunch. It's Hugh. I finally made it. I made it down from Brampton.
Oh, lovely to see you, Hugh. It's been a while since we've been here together, hasn't it?
It's great. I can't believe. Yeah. Oh, Daniel Katz.
Yes.
Still in the building.
Yes.
He could participate if he wants, but.
Yes, stick around, Daniel. And it was lovely co-hosting with you for the first part of the show.
So, Rose, I'm really glad I'm here, and we've got a special guest on the Skype from Brazil, right?
We have a very special guest with us today, Tulku Lobsang, who is currently in Brazil, yes, and we're Skyping him in, and we're going to talk today about his first ever visit to Toronto, coming up on August 1st and 2nd, which is a real honor and privilege for us in Toronto. And I can't wait to meet him in person. What should we do here about full disclosure?
Well,
should I?
I don't know. Let's not do anything.
Oh.
Let's be like Rob Ford. We'll wait for the video to come out.
Oh, yeah. My goodness. Tulku Lobsang is a Tulku, which I'm going to ask you to explain what that is, Tulku Lobsang, and he is a master of Tantrayana, which is a branch of Buddhism, and I'm going to ask you to explain to the listening audience as well what that is, just so that they have a little bit of a background information before we get into more details about the Toronto event, or for that matter, anything else we'd like to discuss here today. So, Tulku Lobsang, what is a tulku?
Yes, Turku means in the Tibetan language what we call, yes, Turku means is a reincarnation. It's a reincarnation. We believe the some of the masters to passed away, and then they reincarnate back and purposely to do their continue helps all of the sentient beings. I think that's his meaning of Turku is mean reincarnation, but we all have reincarnation, but little different than Turkus, because we are all to born or birth without a control, and we believe this masters who have a title of the Turkus, they are born with the control, they are born with the purposely.
Very interesting. And having been born as a tulku, come into life as a tulku, were you always aware of that? Do you still have to pass through the veil of forgetfulness like the rest of us, or does somebody have to tell you that you are a tulku? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand. I mean, yeah. I think it's depend. Some Turkus is they complete remember everything. I mean, many things remember, or maybe they don't remember complete. They become very familiar or subject or things. But some Turkus they don't remember. Zero sometimes. Or only there may be example they remember after 20 years or 30 years, or sometimes they have a case some Turkus only remember before they're dead. Maybe you say me is the reincarnation of a master, this and that, but I only remember before I die, and the whole my life I don't remember. Therefore, it's each Turkus leader have a different cases. Yes.
Yes, that's very interesting, and I wonder how life would be for a tulku who doesn't consciously remember he's a tulku. But in your case, you were recognized by somebody from the outside when you were still young. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
And when this was brought to your attention or to your family's attention, did you immediately embrace it?
Yes. I'm very young. It's 6 or 7 years old. I already in the monastery, and I have all general basic education, some study. Then when I'm 13 years old, when I'm 13 years old, and they recognize, or me is the reincarnation of a Nyense master, is 8th reincarnation of Nyense master. Is maybe we have in our Tibetan tradition what we have oracle is very famous, and one of our oracles in our monastery. And he told me is the reincarnation of this master. First he told, but then I need to go many steps I need to prove I'm a reincarnation of this master.
And the whole oracle system in Tibet is very fascinating, and that's a whole other show for another time. But once you were told that you were a tulku, did you then remember?
And did you remember, and how did you feel? Did it feel right to you that they came to you and said you are a reincarnated Tibetan master? Did that feel accurate, or was it a sort of a surprise?
I be honestly, I don't really. I remember it's the first time one woman, because I'm not want in this ceremony place. It's the only me is who not want in the ceremony place. And the rest, everybody went. But one woman, I remember that time, just not officially, one woman just told me, you are reincarnation of the Nyense master, and the very important master. And all around my people they're just kind of shocked, and they're not moved, they stand. But I only remember this. The rest I don't remember really well. But I feel like I'm feeling connected. But you ask me, I remember my past life, but this question I used to never give really answer, because that's a really tricky question, because I say yes, it's not make sense. I say no, also that's not make sense. There I'm not give answer really myself personally.
When you were taught, you were then taken to the monastery and you began a course of formal study. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
And it seems as though you've mastered many subject matter. I know you're the director, the founder and director of Nangten Menlang, Tibetan Medical Buddhist Association, if I have that, if I got that right. And
correct.
You're a renowned doctor of Tibetan medicine and also in Tibetan astrology. And you've mastered many things, it seems, but you've chosen to focus on the Tantrayana healing arts.
Very correct.
Yeah.
Because in the Buddhism we have Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Tantrayana Buddhism, but especially Tantrayana Buddhism is very much connected to Tibetan medicine. When you really really well study Tantrayana, you must need to understand the body system, how function. Therefore, this is a connect medicine. Therefore, I receive all this kind of knowledge. Not only I receive all this kind of knowledge, but personally, I like especially the body works, through our body do something. Therefore, I also passed many years to more focus in the Tantrayana practices myself, also learnings more and to practice, and therefore this also I'm focused to teaching, because that's very much connect medicine. And then I think many Western people need this this kind of time and the health and the happiness advices. Yes.
Yes, we definitely all need happiness, and I think that's a wonderful approach for the West to go through the body, and maybe not only in the West, but maybe anywhere, but definitely in the West.
So what is it exactly? Let's talk about exactly what is this practice, because I've never heard of it before. So
we've got the master here to explain, and I suppose Tulku Lobsang, there are many practices you do, but you'll be coming to Toronto for the very first time on August the 1st and 2nd. We're so delighted and honored to have you here. And I don't know if you'd like to talk about the practices you'll be teaching here, or would you like to talk about what you teach in general?
Oh, yes, whatever we possible is to talk is mainly example. I think we come into Toronto, we teach in the first step of some of the Tantrayana or techniques, what we call Lu Jong, and together is Zalong. Lu Jong means is some body exercise and with holding your breath. And means, and we are in Tantrayana Buddhism, we believe we have 72,000 different channels have in our body, and each day we are naturally lose one or two channels, and that's how we become old, that's how we become sick, that's how we come to die. But with this practices and the help is the whatever channels block and breaks to twist to make more flowing and make more open and more function. Because your channels block and break, then your energy not flowing. When your not energy is flowing, then we call inner fire or inner warmness is come less or reducing, and this inner warmness start reducing. Then what we call essence maybe is look like very near hormone. And then our hormones is come to freeze. And that's where our brain and our mind is also look like become old. But mind usually never become old, but because of body start going old, and the mind is look like become old. We teach in Toronto is the method to how open the channels and to chakras, and how to make flow in this energy, keep more healthy and happy, And also some people want deep meditation practices, and that is the best way to learn to higher concentration.
You mean by opening these channels, by engaging in this Lu Jong and Tsao Lung practice, let's say, the channels are restored eventually over time, and that then, as a consequence, helps one to deepen their meditational practice?
Exactly. In the Tantrayana Buddhisms, we try to do this way. You see, this really is very complex, but first, we try to open all of our chakras channels. And to do this, we need first some physical exercises. Then we need to breath exercises. Then we need some kind of visualizations. Maybe you hear very famous inner fire. And thus make to your really deep some kind of openings coming, and then deep openings, especially, deep chakras opens, especially in the crown chakra, is maybe look like a brain. And when you open this, before your life never open, you open this, and the brain or this crown chakra start producing some kind of a hormone or some kind of a chemical, to producing, and this go in the nerves, in your nerves. When this go into your nerves, and you have the sensation of a bliss. This name Tantrayana called love, and the bliss is you feel this bliss in your whole of your body. Then bliss coming higher and higher and higher, and then your thoughts automatically reducing, and then only bliss left. And the bliss is just full of the awareness, but without stop thinking. You don't need to think. And that is the way to higher meditation practice. That is the deepest goal of Tantrayana. But together, and they also be possible we have benefit of the health and the happiness. But main highest goal, this higher level of the concentration or meditation, yes.
Wow.
I have a question. I know Dan's still here too. Dan's got a question. But here's my question, Tulku, because you mentioned that we have 72,000 channels, I think you said, and that this practice enables you to maintain them or maybe even restore them if you've lost a few of them, and that losing them is how we get old and this is how we die. My question is, if we use this practice and we maintain our 72,000 channels, does that mean we can live longer? Does that mean, because we hear stories, I don't know if they're myths or not, about people in the East, in Tibet, in northern India, who might live to be thousands of years old. I'm wondering, is it possible, theoretically, with this practice to significantly extend your lifespan?
Yes, it's really possible in our authentic teachings in the monastery, and still we teach, but I don't know who lives such long, but logically it's possible. Example, you need to practice. That means you really need to practice highest level. Example, you practice the holding the breath, and then when you hold the breath, but you need with the special technique, otherwise no good health, also very dangerous. And then you hold your breath without any effort 6 months, and then your body structure completely change. Not only go old, you possibly become young. Therefore, I'm sure one day we found this kind of method to also do this. This is possible, but that is not really goal of this practice. But this is really much possible, make you keep younger or to go back, because in all your body way of the walking is changed, then body start to move in different direction. They have many stories, not only stories, but official, authentic teachings. We have those, yes.
Just to clarify, did you say 6 months holding the breath without effort?
Yes.
Is that what you said? That's what I thought you said.
Yes.
I have a way to go. I'm not even at 6 minutes. Not even close to 6 minutes.
I mean, we are example, the beginners, we try to look like beginners or look like me or look like yours. We first try to reach 3 minutes. Then we try to reach 6 minutes. Then we try to reach 9 minutes. 9 minutes is we are normal people, is the one of the highest one. Then you need a special training in your mind. And the yogis, they are short one, they keep breath 1 day and the 3 months to 6 months. And means that you keep your breath so long, I think also your heart is stopped. And you exactly look like you're dead, but you didn't dead.
I hope.
Yeah, that's good.
I think so.
That's right.
Wait. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Everybody has questions.
Tulku Lobsang,
Yes.
how long can you hold your breath for?
I think it's possible 9 minutes around.
Wow.
Yes. Sometimes it come less, sometimes it come depend on my practice. I possible reach around the 9 minutes. I'm not so good practitioner. I'm a very motivated this part, but it's who really devote whole life to practice this, who stay in the remote area in the Himalaya mountains, and some of masters, yes, is possible. Not only I think is a Buddhism masters possible. I think some Hindu masters also possible. I think, yes, that is kind of not only Buddhism practice, it's kind of a common practice. I think so.
But what you're really saying is that it's not really the goal of these practices in the everyday life to gain immortality or to be able to not breathe for 6 months. It's we're practicing in order to restore the body, or even bring it to its full potential and undo some damage that has been done, and so that the lives that we do live can be fuller and more meaningful and more centered.
Yes, I mean, this is all the Buddhism's techniques, and we have a temporary goal and absolute goal. Temporary goal, we come lead a healthier, we come more long life, we come more happier. But absolute goal in the Buddhism is what we believe, enlightenment. Until you're not enlightened, everything is just a temporary success. They don't have absolute success. Therefore, the Buddhisms we believe become enlightened. That is the final goal. But and they also have temporary goals to become more healthier, happier, long life, all those things. Yes.
Back to the 72,000 channels in the body. Have those actually been mapped, or was that knowledge gained intuitively by somebody way back when?
Yes, I think it's example in the channels we have some channels is really exist in our body in the physically, but some channels not exist. Only we visualize. Example, the chakras, the channels. What we visualize, this is just to help you visualize, but this is not exactly exist. But normal is. The normal channels, what we have, example, in Tantrayana we say mother channel and the central, mother channel, right channel, left channel. What mean? I think right channel means our veins. Mother channel means our arteries, and then left channel means is our nerves. That is really when we put in our physical. But when we meditate, when we visualize, we paint in very special way. But what we paint exactly not exist in our body. But this help your meditation to go to better, to energy flowing in your channels.
Thank you so much. Another thing that I found very interesting was the Tibetan view of chakras versus channels. And after this, maybe we'll talk more specifically about the Toronto events. But it's hard not to ask all these questions. Yes, it's a very interesting view Tibetan Buddhism has of chakras versus channels. The chakras aren't necessarily viewed in the same way. They're viewed more as energy blockages, aren't they?
Yeah, yes. It's yes. It's sometimes chakra means is where is the energy block, or it also means chakra means where is the door. It's look like a sacred door of the body, you know. Is chakra means a sacred door of the body. Example, we have a sexual chakra, navel chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, crown chakra. Mostly sexual chakra is the most easy door, means most easy open. Therefore, in through of these chakras where they have a points is most important. This points your focus and you reach more deep part of your mind than other part of a body. Chakra means is, I think, sacred door.
Okay.
Where's this point?
Which
The one that opens the sexual chakra.
Hugh.
I'm just asking because that's what everybody wants to know. Right, Dan?
Let's see if he answers. Hugh, did you want to break for a moment to put the video on?
Yeah, we could do that. Tulku Lobsang. Dan, did you have a question before we break to the video that you want to ask?
I'm a bit of a shiatsu practitioner. I guess there's an overlap between the channels that you're talking about and the meridians in shiatsu. Are you aware of the difference or the differences or the similarities between the channels, meridians in shiatsu and the channels that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's I think that is very much connect in the one you study in Tantrayana Buddhism. You also study all this the points and also in the Tibetan medicines. But I think is what we in the talking in the medicine and the shiatsu or this kind of the points we call the Tibetan language is what we call samik, means secret points, something like this. And the Tantrayana we call chakras. But in the all of the chakras in through of your spine is more connect emotions. All of the chakras is connect your legs and the arms and the different part more connect the diseases we call. But however is the where is the one where is the secret, where is a block? Example, I have a problem in the heart or something, then in my spine number 6 in the way of the Tibetan count in number 6 in there is a block point. Therefore, example, I push there, I have a pain. I have a problem in my heart. Then you give, because there is the energy, your tension you keep and the blood or energy not flow, and then you give their pressure or acupuncture or golden needle or pressure or warm or massage, anything, then the energy start flowing, and then this coming more help, come healthier, better. But yes, something like that.
That's okay. That's good.
Okay, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we just watch the video, and I'm sure that'll give us lots more to think about and some more questions we'll want to ask afterwards. This is the video that they sent us. So
yes.
We watch that, and Tulku Lobsang, just bear with us. We're going to play the video now, and we'll come back and chat.
Can I give a little intro to the video?
Yes.
Tulku Lobsang, this is a video clip, I believe, of you practicing the wisdom sword, Todd Chud, if I have that correct. And
correct.
Yes, and this is a practice that you yourself developed, if I understand correctly.
Yes, very correct.
Yeah, and And I believe we're going to try to put some music of you singing.
I'm not sure we're able to
we don't know that we can do that. We don't know that we can alter the soundtrack. Well, we'll see you doing your magic with the wisdom sword, and after that break, we'll come back and discuss the Toronto events more specifically. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of beauty and grace and strength and discipline. Did you, sorry, Tulku, did you hear me just now?
Yes.
That was beautiful. A picture of grace, beauty, discipline, strength. Daniel was commenting that it looked like the equivalent of a black belt, and but so much more. Can you tell us just a small bit about the purpose of that practice?
when I travel in the Western world, what I really discover, people have lack of self-esteem and lack of self-esteem, and they always need to think so much. They're not always ready to decide, and that's what I see. I mean, full of the fear. Therefore, and then I develop base of the Western problems. Develop this exercise is the some of our traditional exercise. I put to base, and then I put to this top of this. Mainly, the philosophy of this exercise is something like this. I always say. Outside of yourself, there no have any enemy. You are your own absolute enemy. And then we say there another sentence we say is fear is a demon. Expectation is your enemy. Fear is your demon. Therefore, in this exercise, you try to reducing of your fear and expectations, and also this is a way to be more calm and to befriend yourself and to settle down yourself. Yes.
It's a beautiful practice, a little bit more advanced, I gather, a little bit more advanced. Maybe you can give us a little demo when you're here.
Yeah, Rose doesn't know how to do that yet.
No. Tulku Lobsang, I don't know if you know. I don't know if I can say this on air.
Why not?
Yes, I'm going to be one of the first Canadian certified teachers in the Lu Jong. I've just taken part 1 of the teacher training in upstate New York, and it's wonderful. It's an absolutely wonderful practice, and I'm so excited to be able to bring that to people. And thank you so much for developing that series of movements. And you were saying earlier in the introduction that Lu Jong means body and training. So that's a fairly generic term, right? So when we say we practice Lu Jong, do we have to be more specific? For instance, I practice Lu Jong in the lineage of so-and-so, because that would be a specific Lu Jong, a specific series of movements?
Yes, because Lu Jong we have, in Tantrayana Buddhism, we have maybe around 50 different lineages but they have big lineages is 4 or 5 where is monasteries still practice, but they only give this purpose of to higher realizations or higher meditations, not to really have everybody, but it's sometimes the exercises is very heavy, is sometimes normal people also difficult to do. Then when I think 21 or 22 years old, when I'm Dharamsala, where is Dalai Lama stay, and then there I'm start to thinking all the Lu Jongs, different, Lu Jongs, which ones is most easy, which one is more benefit to normal people, and everybody somehow to possible practice. I collect these exercises, then also something inside little dangerous or some things I little modify, very little modify, but then I'm collect, therefore this is little maybe especially of the also Tulku Lobsang, but I don't make a big change, but I'm collect all easy exercises, more connect and health and to everybody something possible to, because it's a traditional exercises is so hard, is you really need a strong bodies. It's nearly impossible. Therefore, maybe you possible call leader, especially of Tulku Lobsang also.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, Dan.
Okay, my question to you is that there is a lot of, this is a form of yoga, right? That the yoga out here, a lot of it is misconstrued as exercise for achievement of a pretzel posture, to be a super flexible person or super strong, and sometimes people miss the point of what the yoga was in the first place. Are you aware of that misconstrued interpretation of yoga here in the West?
Yes, I really much, and yes, that's what I understand. I'm used to say now many in the teachers, my students example also in this exercise, because sometimes people when you teach in the people and then they are focused to become flexible. But example, goal of the Lu Jong, I'm sure also yoga. The goal of the Lu Jong not to become flexible, because you're flexible does not mean you're healthy also. That's the reason is the goal of the Lu Jong exercise not to become flexible is because flexible means not mean you're healthy. Not only this, sometimes you to become flexible, exercise no possible reach your body, then exercise no help you. That's the reason you need exercise always little changing, and not only changing your exercise always need some movement, and don't be one position always. You be one position always, then your body this adapt, and then after this not reach your body, and then they know have a big benefit. Therefore, that's I'm very much where I always used to say people does.
Tulku Lobsang, sorry, Daniel, did you want to? Okay, yeah, that was very interesting, wasn't it? That was an interesting point of view about how flexibility isn't always, it doesn't necessarily mean health. It doesn't health or so for the basic Lu Jong practice, the 5 elements practice, which is what you'll be teaching here in Toronto on August the 2nd. That is the foundational practice, kind of an underpinning of all the other body movement practices that you teach, isn't it?
Is correct, very correct.
Mm-hmm. And for myself, just addressing the point you made that you went around synthesizing movements from all these different lineages to find something that everybody could do. That was something that I personally had been having difficulty with because I'd been injured in a car accident a long time ago now, 10 years ago, but I've still never been able to recover, to actually pick up a physical practice. And this Lu Jong is the first, it's the first after 10 years. I do have to do it carefully, but that's what I love about it. You get into the proper position and you do it to the ability you can, and it's a huge benefit. And for me, I can tell I feel better after every practice, actually.
Sorry. Well, Rose, you told me that this is in terms of a very simple practice that doesn't take a lot of time, that anybody can do and get themselves in great physical health.
Well, I mean, it's a great foundational practice, and it's very comprehensive, so that in only a few minutes a day, they say ultimately 12 minutes. I still take a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Even if it's 15 or 20, that's not very much. You balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. You, by having the combination of form and movement, you have a little bit of breath work in there, you have a little bit of a moving meditation, and you balance the 5 elements in the body. So that's pretty efficient for a practice, a 12-minute practice. And Tulku Lobsang, in your view, who is the ideal person to practice Lu Jong?
What do you mean?
Well, who should practice it? Let's say if people already have, their fitness routines set up, can they still benefit?
Yes. Yes, what I saw, and now example in the Europe, we have nearly 1,000 Lu Jong teachers. Nearly we have who teach everywhere, and also in the hospitals, and also sometimes yoga people. I mean, who have very flexible bodies, and all kind of people is practicing, and also old and is not so flexible. Really, everybody is when they do this is kind of have a benefit. I'm also surprised one time some of yoga practitioners, because they're very, very flexible sometimes, and therefore, but they did in the example, especially 5 element, and they say they feel very much, I think, because of a movement, and then they reach more in your deep part of the body. I think so, yeah. That means all kind of people possible, yes?
Yes.
So let's talk about, because you're coming to Toronto in August, and let's talk about what's going to happen there. And people watching, they may be intrigued and they may want to come out, and let's talk a little bit about what you're going to be teaching specifically when you come to Toronto in August.
So August 1st, which is a Thursday, there will be a public talk. And the theme of the talk, as far as I know, is using the power of change. Tulku Lobsang?
Yes.
And this talk is it's a standalone event. It's not. It's something separate than the workshop that's offered the next day. So what can people hope to learn from the talk on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm used to people say the power of a change. You know, usually is change is the one. I mean, change change is the one of the great mystery existing in this planet. Change or impermanent. And we don't know how use change, and the change make we are suffering, and make we are suffering. But we know how to use change, and the change is just energy. Change is a potential. Change is a possibility. But many people always don't. First of all, they're against the change, and the second, they don't know how use change, and the third, they have change, but they don't know how use. Therefore, I try to teach people, say, that's the reason, I say the power of the change is, I always say, we always try to change something big, but we don't need to change too big to become change. We only need to change one thing. That's what we need to change ourselves. When you change yourself, is enough to change all. Therefore, you change enough replace of to change everybody without changing anybody. But the change of others is not enough replace of the change of you. To change yourself is not so difficult. You don't need to really change. You just need to decide. Whatever you decide, changes happen this way. That is the magic of a change. Whatever you decide to be happy, and the changes happen this way. You decide to unhappy, and the changes happen this way. Therefore, the change is so powerful. But many people against the change, try to against the change, and then they're exhausted and they're tired and they're suffering.
That's very interesting. So you'll be talking about not necessarily how to work with change if it happens unexpectedly in one's life, but also how to be proactive and actually bring change about through making decisions.
Correct.
Oh.
Wow, that sounds like, based on Tulku, what you're saying, that we need in the West. There's a lot of people walking around. They don't have a lot of confidence. They don't know how to make decisions. It sounds like maybe that's the kind of thing that a lot of people really need to hear. Like me and Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be so you'll be giving us some pointers on the Thursday night talk, and then on the Friday workshop, you'll be teaching the Lu Jong 5 elements practice and then the Tsalung breath work later on in the day. Is that correct?
It's correct.
And the Salon breath work is part of it is to learn to hold your breath for 20 minutes.
Sorry?
6 months, Dan. 6 months. Then we can really get some good work in the Navy. Okay. So, well, let's, if we don't have any more really...
Tulku, is there anything else you would like to say today?
Not example. The Tsalong is I like maybe one sentence saying the Tsalong is Tsalong example. Until 25, you more breath breathe in. Therefore, your body is young. You more breath breathe in until 25. Therefore, breath is so important. Our body and our mind, also our spiritual practice, because without the body, we no possible practice anything. That's the reason until 25, our body somehow naturally young, because naturally we breathe in. But after 25 to until 45, our breath more maintain our body. Therefore, body is more stay flat. Until 25, our body more changing, growing. After 25 to until 45, our body is not so much changing. And after 45, our body start to again changing, because we more breath breathe out, we not enough breath breathe in. Therefore, breath, you see, change all our power and all our body forms and also our emotions and all of our hormones, things. Therefore, it's so important to understand how breath is work. I think that's what I like to say. Yeah, that's all. I think so.
That's great.
Sometimes I think, and I know that myself, sometimes, just through the act of breathing, I can change my entire state, my emotional well-being, my everything. Just so that's so important. In fact, that's where the word inspiration comes from.
Hugh,
right?
you're about 85 years old, aren't you? And you look so much younger.
Well, thanks to good breathing practices, Dan, and of course the immortality rings. But you never know. You can always have more. So let's tell people how they can find out more and how they can get tickets or whatever it takes to get involved in the August sessions with Tulku Lobsang.
Yes, I think there's been a web page created that we have to show on the screen. The Eventbrite. There's been an Eventbrite page created that people can go on to.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we tell people? What is the actual URL there for people to check that out? Do we have that?
Yes. Okay, www.tokulobsang-toronto.eventbrite.com. Can we get that up on the screen at all?
We will. We'll put that in the credits.
All right.
That's fabulous.
But that's a long one, and I don't know if everyone's going to get all that right away.
There is another option as well. It is tulkulobsang.org/tour plan. And then when you go to the tour plan, you can click on Toronto and find the event there as well. And all the details will be there, such as the date, the location, the cost. And Tulku, are you still there?
Yes.
And after people participate in the workshop, they will actually walk away with a daily practice that they can implement right away in their daily lives, isn't it?
Correct. Very much correct.
Yes. Well, we're so looking forward to having you in Toronto. And thank you so much for being our guest today. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Tulku, where in Brazil are you, by the way?
A final question. Yeah.
Moment, I'm São Paulo.
Oh, big city.
Sao Paulo.
Wow.
Big city. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great to have you on Tulku Lobsang, and we really hope when you do come to Toronto that we can maybe meet you in person and get you here in the studio and do this again in person. That would be awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
So I guess that's it for the show, Rose. So thanks for doing this today, coming in special for this show. And Daniel, you too, for filling in for me.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
And we'll see you all next time right here on ThatChannel.com. See you then.
Bye for now.
Chona